They say every empire falls in one moment. For Nero, that moment did not begin with fire. It began with fear, with whispers, with anger growing in silence. Rome once loved Nero. Rome once praised him. Rome once believed he was the future. But long before Rome turned against him, the seeds of hate were already planted. This is the story of how Nero rose to power, and how Rome slowly began to turn. Nero was born in the year 37 AD. His full name was Lucius Domitius Ahenobarbus. He came from a powerful family. His mother was Agrippina the Younger. She was smart, she was ambitious, and she wanted her son on the throne. Agrippina married Emperor Claudius. She convinced him to adopt Nero. She pushed him into the line of power. She removed rivals. She controlled the court. She shaped Nero's future. In the year 54 AD, Claudius died. Many believed Agrippina poisoned him. Nero was only 16 years old, and suddenly he was emperor of Rome. At first, Rome was hopeful. Nero was young. He was charming. He smiled often. He spoke kindly. He promised peace. For the first years, Nero ruled well. He listened to his advisors. He lowered taxes. He punished corrupt officials. He respected the Senate. People said, "This boy will be a great ruler." But behind the smiles, something was wrong. Nero did not care about ruling. He cared about fame. He cared about art. He cared about being loved. He wanted to sing. He wanted to act. He wanted to perform on stage. Roman leaders were not meant to do that. An emperor was supposed to be strong, serious, distant. But Nero wanted applause. He wanted cheers. He wanted attention. His mother, Agrippina, tried to control him. She wanted power through her son. She wanted influence. She wanted respect. Nero grew tired of her. He felt trapped. He felt watched. He felt small beside her shadow. So he decided to remove her. In the year 59 AD, Nero had his own mother killed. At first, he tried to make it look like an accident. That failed. So he sent soldiers to her room. They stabbed her. They ended her life. Rome was shocked. Rome was silent. Rome was afraid. The people did not forget this. They only waited. From that moment, Nero changed. He stopped listening to wise men. He trusted flatterers. He trusted weak advisors. He trusted no one who spoke the truth. He became cruel. He became careless. He became dangerous. He killed rivals. He killed friends. He killed his own wife. He spent money without control. He raised taxes. He took land from noble families. He seized wealth. The rich grew angry. The poor grew tired. The soldiers grew restless. But Nero did not notice. He was too busy performing. He forced Roman nobles to watch his shows. They had to clap. They had to praise him. They had to pretend he was great. Leaving early was forbidden. Falling asleep was punished. Rome felt humiliated. The emperor was no longer a ruler. He was a performer playing king. Then came the fire. In the year 64 AD, a great fire broke out in Rome. It burned for days. Whole neighborhoods were destroyed. Thousands lost their homes. Rumors spread fast. People said Nero started the fire. People said he wanted to rebuild Rome for himself. Nero blamed Christians. He had them arrested. He had them killed in cruel ways. Rome watched in horror. Trust was gone. Fear ruled the streets. Nero used the fire to build a giant palace. It was called the Golden House. It was full of gold, statues, and luxury. While the people suffered, Nero lived like a god. Hate grew stronger. The Senate feared him. The generals distrusted him. The people whispered his name with anger. But no one moved. Not yet. Nero kept pushing. He kept spending. He kept killing. He demanded worship. He demanded praise. He demanded silence. And Rome obeyed, because Rome was afraid. But fear does not last forever. By the late 60s AD, Rome was weak. The army was unhappy. The provinces were angry. Governors began to rebel. In the year 68 AD, a governor named Galba rose against Nero. Other leaders followed. The army started to switch sides. The Senate hesitated. They watched. They waited. Nero still believed he was loved. He still believed he was safe. But Rome had already decided. The city that once cheered him now waited for his fall. The people were tired. The nobles were angry. The soldiers were done. The love was gone. Only fear remained. And fear was about to break. Rome had already made its choice. Nero just did not know it yet. While he slept in his palace, the empire was breaking behind his back. This was the moment everything collapsed. In the year 68 AD, the Roman world was tired. Tired of fear. Tired of taxes. Tired of blood. Tired of Nero. Far from Rome, in the province of Gaul, a governor named Gaius Julius Vindex rose up. He could no longer accept Nero's rule. He called Nero a disgrace. He called him a monster. Vindex told the people, "This man is not fit to be emperor." He called for rebellion. He asked other governors to join him. First, his revolt failed. Roman troops defeated him. Vindex took his own life. But the idea he started did not die. Another governor listened. His name was Servius Sulpicius Galba. He ruled in Spain. Galba had power. He had soldiers. He had support. And he had courage. Galba declared himself the true ruler of Rome. The news spread fast. Other provinces followed. The empire began to split. In Rome, Nero laughed it off. He said it was nothing. He said it was a small problem. He was wrong. The army began to change sides. Generals who once swore loyalty to Nero now swore loyalty to Galba. The guards whispered. The officers doubted. The soldiers hesitated. Nero still believed he was loved. He still planned shows. He still dreamed of applause. But behind closed doors, the Senate was meeting. They were afraid. They were angry. They were done. They blamed Nero for everything. The fire, the killings, the taxes, the chaos. They waited for the right moment. Then it came. The Praetorian Guard betrayed him. These were his own bodyguards. The men meant to protect his life. They accepted money from Galba. They turned their backs on Nero. When Nero heard this, his face went pale. His hands began to shake. He ran through the palace halls. He looked for loyal friends. There were none. His advisors had fled. His guards had left. His servants had disappeared. The palace felt empty. For the first time, Nero was alone. He sent messages to the Senate. He begged for help. No one answered. Then the Senate made its decision. They declared Nero a public enemy. They ordered his arrest. They ordered his death. The news reached the palace at night. Nero panicked. He did not know what to do. He paced the room. He cried. He shouted. He begged the gods for mercy. He asked his few remaining friends to help him escape. Most refused. They were afraid to die with him. At last, a freed slave named Phaon agreed. He offered Nero a place to hide. A small villa outside the city. Nero put on simple clothes. He covered his face. He slipped out of the palace in darkness. The streets were silent. No cheers. No crowds. No guards. Only fear. He rode through the night. He crossed fields. He hid in shadows. At dawn he reached the villa. He was exhausted. He was shaking. He was broken. Nero, once ruler of the world, now hid like a criminal. He asked his friends, "Is it so terrible to die?" They said nothing. He heard hoofbeats in the distance. Soldiers were coming. They had orders to arrest him. Nero panicked again. He could not face capture. He could not face shame. He asked for a knife. His hands were too weak to use it. He cried. He delayed. He begged for time. The soldiers were close now. He placed the blade to his throat. Still, he could not do it. At last, one of his companions helped him. Nero pushed the knife into his own neck. Blood poured out. As he died, he whispered his final words. "What an artist dies in me." With that, Nero was gone. The last emperor of the Julio-Claudian line was dead. Rome did not mourn him. Rome felt relief. The Senate declared Galba emperor. Crowds filled the streets. Statues of Nero were torn down. His name was erased from records. His face was scratched off coins. His memory was cursed. But the chaos was not over. Nero's death did not bring peace. It brought civil war. For emperors would rise in 1 year. Blood would fill the streets again. But for Rome, one thing was clear. The nightmare of Nero was finally over. People spoke of him in whispers. Some remembered his early kindness. Most remembered his cruelty. Most remembered the fear. Most remembered the fire. Historians would argue for centuries. Did Nero start the fire? Was he truly mad? Was he misunderstood? But the people of Rome had already answered that question. They turned against him. They betrayed him. They ended him. And in that moment, Rome decided Nero must fall. If this story moved you, join this journey through history by subscribing now. Like this video to show your support, and press the bell icon so you never miss the next powerful moment from the past.